as you're coming up, you're constantly seeing other people blow up off one video. You're like, damn, I wish I could just, speed run this and get that success so quick. How come it's taking me so slow and so long? But it ends up being so much for the better because you kind of get to progress into like understanding how to mentally take it, how to just be in the limelight. Doing that all overnight is, I think, unhealthy. So being able to do it slowly but surely helps someone just stay grounded, not just have an overnight success moment,
Welcome back, everybody, to another HJR podcast. We are with probably the GOAT YouTuber of all time, Jake. I'm sorry, move aside. Mr. Beast, move aside. We have Ben Azelart in the studio. Couldn't be more grateful for you making time. You attended your first UFL event. We're trying to get you so much more engulfed in the MMA world. I know you have a boxing background. We'll get into that in a second, but it has been a blast getting to know you. You are a deep, deep individual. You play a character on your massive YouTube channel that everybody knows you in a certain way, but I can't wait for the audience to know all about you. Like let's get into it. I mean, thank you first. Thanks for
having me.
You were born in Dallas, but at 3 years old, you moved to Hawaii. And
Yes.
I feel like you resonate with Hawaii more.
I do, yeah.
What caused the move to Hawaii from Dallas?
Well, my dad was working the airlines and switched airlines, and that airline brought him to Hawaii. So it was from like American Airlines to Japan Airlines, and they're based in Hawaii. So his job brought us to Hawaii, and then that's kind of where I grew up. I don't remember anything from Dallas, absolutely nothing. So I like to think that my entire upbringing was in Hawaii, and then the rest is history.
Yeah, I mean, I bet the family was really glad about the airline change.
Yeah, a beautiful, beautiful place to move. Dallas is also great, but it's just insane to go from Dallas to Hawaii. They're polar opposites.
And from Hawaii, from 3 till 15?
Yeah, 3 to 15.
Then you moved to California. Still not a bad scene.
Yeah, great also move. That one was definitely more of my decision because I was trying to get into the industry, and California is the place to be for that. You can definitely do it anywhere. It's not to say that you have to be in California, but it was a very helpful place to be for what I was looking to do. So being in California was helpful. Got in the mix, saw another place, met more people, and it just kind of slowly progressed from there. But there was never like an overnight moment where things went berserk. It was definitely just a slow, steady growth. But being in California definitely helped that for sure.
Beautiful. And I love it because that was your decision. Obviously, at 3 years old, you can't make the decision to move to Hawaii, but to California, what did your family think about you making that move from Hawaii to California?
It was definitely tough. My parents wanted to support, but they also wanted to be smart. And, I'm 15. I could be kind of saying whatever I want to say. It's hard to like trust your 15-year-old's judgment, So they definitely put their trust in me, but there's obviously like the parent in them is like making sure that this is the right decision. And after long talks and figuring it out, we were able to make it all work. My mom would come with me to Hawaii. We would fly back to Hawaii so my parents could be together still. And just like we would do the flight and the flight from Hawaii to California every week, which is insane. And then we just did that for about a year and a half until I was old enough to be on my own. And then from then on, I just kind of stayed out there. Mom and dad came to see me, but not as often as they had to because I was old enough to live by myself. So.
And are you allowed to say what old enough is? Like 18?
Or 18,
okay,
yeah.
I was like, man, so at 16, you're a bachelor
yeah.
in it?
No, it was about 18. I was able to kind of branch off and, stay weeks on end without my parents being there. And then, now I have my own place, obviously, so.
Yes, we'll get into all that. You have an amazing place, not only residentially, but we've seen what you've built commercially with your business. But I probably got a little bit ahead of our journey of Ben Azelart life back in Hawaii. Before you got into the whole content YouTube world, you got your start skateboarding, it sounds like, or surfing. I mean, what started your adventure life, and then how did that convert to realizing you want to do content life?
Yeah, for me, it was definitely switching from kind of skateboarding to content creation was a interesting switch. It's not like very common to go that route. For me, it started off skateboarding just because I had friends that were in it. Hawaii is a very like board sport, like driven, state. Surfing and skateboarding is very huge out there, primarily surfing. But I gravitated more towards skateboarding, and I just did that every single day. Got, into competing for it, traveled for it. And then skateboarding itself is a sport where you're just constantly like filming yourself, like you're just constantly filming your skate tricks. You're filming what you're doing. Cause at the end of the day, that's how you put yourself out there, is you film your tricks, you film your runs, and people can, sponsor you from that. So Instagram and skateboarding was kind of popping at the time. People were posting their skate clips. So just capturing something was always in my DNA with what I grew up. It wasn't definitely like capturing what I'm capturing now, but I was definitely filming myself throughout my sports life. I'm sure like other sports like football and baseball, there's not as much capturing. You're more just like maybe being scouted by teams and whatever. But skateboarding is one of those sports that's like pretty solo. You're at a random skate park all day. How is anybody going to know if you're any good by if you're not filming it, So filming it is like film in skateboarding is very big. So that itself, I think, put me like in the right direction to want to like end up capturing content later on. But it just had a nice transition.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I didn't realize that with traditional, football, basketball, baseball, they kind of have that coach, like the abilities that can kind of notice if they're progressing, if they're good. They kind of just get pushed to the next step, whether it's college or the professionals. As a skateboard soloist, you kind of are in charge of your own getting noticed. And so did you do your own editing? Like, did you have a camera person from that young able to be, I know you do now, but from back then, did you have to do it all yourself? Or
my brother was a huge play into that.
Perfect.
He was a videographer. So we're 18 months apart. He's older than me, but he got into film, editing, all that, filmed me a little bit, taught me everything. Friends of friends film each other. You film me, I film you skateboarding. And they're quite easy to edit, but you definitely learn the basics of how to film something, how to frame it, how slow motion works. Like at a young age, just understanding how a camera works, I think was important for me. And even editing it, as simple as it was still editing, it was still posting, it was still making it look good, making it colorful, all that stuff. So that definitely is like the backbone of what I do now.
Were there any like initial videos that you posted that just dramatically changed your views, your presence online?
There wasn't ever actually a singular video that did any kind of blow up moment for me. I know some people have other like trajectories and like how they go big. Some people do it off of a video. Some people do it off of a few videos, So there's like
one video.
There's just sometimes people can go viral for one random thing. I never had like a moment where it was overnight, just insanity. It definitely was a slow build, slowly but surely, which I'm glad that happened. I think as you're coming up, you're constantly seeing other people blow up off one video. You're like, damn, I wish I could just, speed run this and get that success so quick. How come it's taking me so slow and so long? But it ends up being so much for the better because you kind of get to progress into like, understanding how to mentally take it, how to just be in the limelight. Doing that all overnight is, I think, unhealthy. So being able to do it slowly but surely helps someone just stay grounded, not just have an overnight success moment,
And it seems like your audience is way more loyal to you. Like if they've gone through the journey with you, they love you, they feel part of the journey. If it's like an overnight blow up, they don't really, in my opinion, care about who you are. They care about whatever that initial pop was. And what if that's not truly what your brand was and you kind of are pivoting to other things? They don't stick around. In my opinion, your audience, I feel like they know you so well because, like you said, it's a slow build over time.
Yep.
You could choose things to do, and they know you. They don't think you're a fly-by-the-night kind of brand.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important you can make it work anyway. If you blow up overnight, that's amazing. You can probably still make it work, and you can't always just wish you had something else. So I think however your trajectory, your path goes, whether it be in business or social media, just accept it. If it was overnight, if it took years, it's all good. But I think for me, I'm grateful that I had kind of a slow build. That just suited me better. But some people can do the overnight thing and just run with it. So
when did you realize the true potential of your channel?
Similar to what I was just saying, it's all just such a slow build. But there's definitely been in the last year and a half, like a moment where I've realized like this is something that has a well-oiled machine that's working super well, that kind of like, if I just keep doing what I'm doing, it's not going to go anywhere. Like
Just
as
in the
in
last
just
year
like,
and a half?
yeah, as in the last year and a half, like as in like just the content flow, the presence of the fans and stuff. Like it's just built super strong that like, if I can just continue doing this, keep putting the same effort I'm putting in and producing how I'm producing, it can just continue to build and sustain and work well. So